those of you, thank you everyone who presented. There was a lot of information there. I have to make an admission that on the technical side, I maybe understood 60% because my background is actually more in the business and exploitation side. So forgive me if I misunderstood something, and I look forward to getting some clarifications. So the first, and this is a very quick question, perhaps to you, Nacho. This is ARIA, right? So the TRL that it's expected to reach by the end, so in a year's time, is going to be TRL level 6 or 7?
6.
6, right, okay. So exploitation, I imagine that the full exploitation plan, while you can start to kind of put some meat on the bones, it's probably going to be from now on, I think, as Roger said, that you're really going to be starting to focus on that. Maybe before I go into some of those questions, just to give those of you who don't know me a little bit of background. So I think on one of the slides it was said that I've been involved in Unlock, which is one of the CAs looking at all of the projects that have been funded under the previous call. But we've also received very recently, two days ago, in fact, confirmation that we will be running the CSA for the future projects that are going to be funded. So I'm sure we'll have ongoing contact there. Yes, thank you. We're very pleased about that. Our approach is going to be very much a domain-focused approach. So we'll have something that is focused on energy, another that is focused on the software-defined vehicle, and so on. So we're really looking forward to kind of like bringing the technologies into specific domains and also sharing things that can be transversal. But beyond that, I'm also a European Innovation Council jury member. The European Innovation Council is a €1 billion fund to take really groundbreaking innovations and make sure that they have the resources, the financial resources, to make a dent in global markets. And I think that that's where my specific knowledge and contributions can be strongest for aerOS. And with that in mind, I think that that is something that you will really need to put some resource behind. I know that because the 36 months where you got to in terms of the piloting and proof of value, you haven't been able to do that yet. But I would strongly suggest that you look at the commercialization and the exploitation of IP. I think that obviously industrial actors come in if they can have something that they can exploit, but we also need to understand which parts of everything that's going to be developed can be put into different exploitation channels. So for example, the open source community. And I think that my main interest would be that exploitation can revert back into European value and European exploitation, because all too often I think that what we see is billions and billions that are poured into European R&D that then gets dissipated. I'm not saying that it's not useful, but I think that there's exploitation from research and the research community. I think that you've made reference to KPIs that are around publications, which are really important. I think that is a great way to disseminate the knowledge that's being gained. But I think that sometimes we're really not sharp enough, or not as sharp as our global competitors would be, in exploiting the real market value of the things that we're doing. And having those commercial actors do that is great, but we also need to make sure that it isn't just, and I'm not going to mention any names, but it's not just them, that there are other routes that can be exploited in a way that makes sense. And for that, you're probably also going to need some legal advice on the IP. And I haven't really seen that. I don't know whether anyone in the consortium has that. If not, I can certainly put you into contact with an organization that's called 4IP. I don't know whether you know them, but they're a not-for-profit. And that's what they, that they can probably kind of like help you either with an internal workshop or through another mechanism to really kind of understand when those IP agreements are put to the whole consortium, that you have kind of like a counter view of how that's going to benefit everyone who's put every, you know, resource, their own resources into getting those assets, but also from a European perspective, making sure that they are exploitable within Europe, whether it's through agreements to make sure that you can exploit them without paying royalties or license fees, or I don't know. I think I'll stop there because it's there. I've already had a nudge to join my second meeting. Really happy to have ongoing conversations, you know, offline on this. I think it's super important, and you're doing really, really great work. So congratulations, and thank you for inviting me to be part of the consortium. Not the consortium, sorry, the advisory